All right, folks. Welcome to Morning Journal session number 230. Thank you so much for joining us this beautiful Friday morning. It's a purple Friday over here in the VIP. I'm glad that you are up and with us. We do this every Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're an early riser and you want to catch the first 30 minutes of the bonus content that we have with the VIPs, you can go ahead and find the link right in your show notes or in the description of the video that you're watching right now. We'd love to have you over here with the cool kids in the VIP on Spoon. So we're excited about today's conversation. We just kind of wrapped up a little bit talking about dreams, and we're going to continue conversations about dreams going forward. But the first prompt of the day that we're going to be talking about is, what is something that you didn't appreciate until it was gone? What is something that you did not appreciate until it was gone? So think about that. You can put your answers in the chat. Also, let me say thanks to everyone who's listening and watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the places that you can see us. Special shout out to all the folks listening to the replay of this live experience over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If this is not your first time hearing this and you like what it is we do, it would be extremely helpful if you would drop a rating and review so other people can find us. Finally, I ask if you are interested in the conversations that we have. We do have a newsletter. We'll say more about that during the mid-roll. But for now, we're going to get started with our answers to our first prompt in the VIP. What is something that you didn't appreciate until it was gone? So, Tim says, laughter. I did not appreciate laughter until it was gone. It is something special about having a laugh and sharing a laugh. We have our moments, right? We have our moments. And then we would give anything to find some humor, to find a way to reconnect with the things that make us smile. So treasure the moments of laughter when they come. Allow it. Sometimes it feels like it's not even appropriate to laugh. Maybe you are in a situation that's heavy and you're grieving, but it's still okay to have a laugh. I mean, don't be disrespectful and laugh in somebody's face. I don't know, you might be like that, but laughter. Something I didn't appreciate until it was gone. So, Jehovah Thickness says, I did not appreciate my mental stability until it was gone. I did not appreciate my mental stability until it was gone. Sometimes our level of stability fluctuates, right? Sometimes our mental stability fluctuates. So in the times when we feel like we're missing it, we would love to see it and have it. Miss is here. Good morning, Miss. Welcome in. So good to see you. What is something that you didn't appreciate until it was gone is the question that we are looking at right now, thinking about right now. So let's see what else we got. So Marie says, me, myself. True facts. I didn't miss me until I was gone. It's like, where did that person go? Where did that person go? Yourself is the worst thing to lose, right? Yourself is the worst thing to lose. And there are a lot of ways that we do that. J-Man says, cuddles. Cuddles. I miss those cuddles. Yeah. Yeah, cuddles are nice. Yeah, cuddles are underrated, I think. So, Noble Ancient says, I didn't appreciate something I call the caliber of adventure until it was gone. The caliber of adventure is the focused order of knowing where to go and what to do in a linear form. It's different. It's different. There's a sense of being dialed in, locked in. And when you don't have that, it can feel a little unsettling. All right. So Alexis says, our playtest group. I miss having other physical people to play ROA with, and most of our games are 3+ people. So yeah, just having other people around made a huge difference. Makes a huge difference. Yeah. Yeah, we made it to #1 just because y'all are engaged and liking and all of that. So thank you so much. We're thinking about something that we didn't appreciate, don't appreciate until it is gone. Theo, welcome in and thank you for the like. I didn't notice that you were here, but you made it. That is something that you didn't appreciate until it was gone. Theo says, my grandma, I didn't realize how much time I took for granted until she was gone. She recently passed and I regret not spending more time with her. Yeah, the time that we didn't spend. It's always those things, right? All right. Things that we didn't miss or didn't appreciate. Miss says, honestly, living at my mom's house. Just being able to get up and, there's stuff there. There's probably food in the refrigerator. There might be a meal somewhere in the offing. There's someone around that cares about you. Easy peasy. It's fun to stay with mom and them. All right. Marie, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. Okay. If we are ready, we can get ready to jump into the next prompt. But yeah, let me just say a little bit about this one before we go. I think it's interesting that, so we have like what we call an experiencing self, right? And kind of remembering selves. We exist kind of as two things at one time. It's the who we are right now in this moment. Like you're hearing my voice right now. You're seeing the things that are in your environment. We have the very soon to approach future of the activities that we have planned for today. That's kind of our experiencing self. And then we have our remembering self that's reflecting on the things that we've done in the past, the things that we have, the choices that we've made, the people that we've connected with. And I think it can be difficult to uncover or fully appreciate your deepest values in the moment. You reach that level of taking things for granted. And it kind of leaves you blind. Sometimes the present has the effect of leaving you blind to the things that are truly important. So it's not that you need to be in a state of perpetual regret, not regret. You don't always need to be living in regret, but I think that there is some value in looking back at the things that you truly appreciate and using that regret sort of as a compass to orient you towards the things that might bring you more long-term satisfaction and happiness. Rather than someone else's version, you can just look at your own life and figure out, well, these are the things that are right for me. These are the things that fill me up. Because there's plenty of people who want to put a vision of what a good life looks like. There's plenty of inputs that we get that try to influence the way, the choices that we make. But when you look at your own experience and you're honest about the things that kind of tug at your heart from your memory, it can be a very powerful orientation tool, a very accurate compass that we can use to guide us to the next step. So if we're ready to go to the next prompt now, we can. Let us drop a heart in the chat if you're ready to do that. Once again, thank you all for all of your attention and engagement, and the conversations that are here are extremely valuable to me. I learn from you, so I appreciate it. So our next prompt. Jovi is here. Miss has dropped some coffee and donuts just in time. Just in time. Enough Said Radio says, my single life, as we get ready to close and reset the request box. We're going to reset it. It's good to see you this morning, Jovi. The next prompt that we have coming up, I'm resetting the request box now. Where does your greatest opportunity for personal growth lie? So we were just talking about reflecting and bringing the lessons of our life to the table as we consider the choices that lie in front of us right now. Regret is there, and in many cases where we've fallen short or we have decisions that were a little questionable, they serve as a light to shine on where we need to grow or where we can grow. Growth is always optional. Change is not. Stuff is going to change, but whether or not you grow, that's a choice that you get to make as a human or as a chance, as the case may be. So as you look at things, where does your greatest opportunity for personal growth lie? All right. And thinking about growth as an opportunity, I think that's the right frame. I think it's a useful way, a useful frame to like look at our problems and our challenges as opportunities. It's a different way of seeing it. All right. It might be something that gives you a little bit more motivation and a greater sense of willingness to face the things if you see them not as challenges randomly, but as opportunities. Henry is here. Hey, Henry, thanks for joining us. So, opportunities to grow. Noble Ancient is going to kick off this part of the conversation with this. My greatest personal growth lies in the details I learn in my day's adventure, how I handle situations, what I think through a day, how I learn, and what I learn is intriguing. Yeah, the level of awareness that we take into our day is huge. You know, if we're not examining our life, there are many lessons that just show up in our day-to-day experience that if we took time to notice and if we had an intention that we are moving towards, we can glean those lessons more effectively. So, Leah is back. So Marie says, my greatest opportunity lies in being alone. The space to observe and having to depend on nothing nor anyone but yourself. Therein lies my greatest opportunity for growth. Yeah, Marie, I think that it gives you a lot of, it provides you with a lot of sort of emotional capital to know that I got this, right? I've proven to myself that I'm capable of navigating my life and manage emotional state. I can do all of these things. And then, you know, you can choose. I don't think that it's necessarily healthy to make a once and for all resolution to never connect with people. But if you're coming from a place of more wholeness, it's like, yeah, it just makes things a lot easier. You don't come in with all that thirst, all that grasping and all of those other things that make it more difficult to make an authentic connection with people. So Miss says, growth comes with a little bit of pain, right? Yeah, often it does. So my biggest pain is remembering to keep quiet and listen more, because I be going off. Yeah, jump into the go off. So resisting that urge, feeling that discomfort, that need to pop off, and recognizing that, you know what? Let me listen for a change, for once. XO Soul 100, welcome in. Thank you for being here. We're talking about our greatest opportunities for personal growth. Where does that lie for you? Jovi says, active listening and observing. That's an opportunity for me to grow. You learn a lot more when you use your ears or eyes instead of your mouth. 70 to 90% of the time, you can just round that off to 100. You can just round that on up. Because if it was a 90% chance of rain, I bet you had that umbrella with you. Yeah. I mean, early, Miss says, why are you challenging people like this so early in the morning? Well, early is relative. We don't know how long people been up. For some people, it's late. You know, I'm a whole 3 hours into my day. So it ain't early for me. All right. J-Man says, it is in my ability to be compassionate and forgiving, not only with others, but towards myself for all the things I got wrong. Grow by learning how to forgive yourself. Yeah, how do you forgive yourself? So Tim has a strategy for dealing with those prompts that kind of come at you. He said, oh no, that don't apply to me. That's what the screenshots are for. You know, that's what the screenshots are for. Sometimes you might want to come back to it a little bit later on. All right, so Alexis says, my greatest opportunity for personal growth lies in the reality I create for myself. Every day I work creating one thing, weeding my psycho-emotional garden and positively progressing with my physical health. Create one thing, yeah. So J-Man is trying to pump himself up to get that swallow down that shake. He's saying it's yummy. Come on, man. He said, I like this one. So what you're saying is you don't usually like them, basically. Well, this one's not bad. The French vanilla, not bad. I can take that. All right. So over on YouTube, y'all can put some green hearts in the chat right now. Rita is here. So drop me some green hearts in the chat. And if you want to still keep thinking about those opportunities for personal growth, we'll take that. We'll take that. All right. If we're ready to go to the next prompt, I'm happy to take us there. We are reaching close to the top of the hour. So I see the green hearts. If there are other hearts to be dropped, let me know we're ready to go to the next prompt. I'll make sure I didn't miss anyone's responses. So our next prompt. So this one is a little bit of a, not exactly a fill in the blank, but is sort of a different look at like possibilities. So I want you to complete your response with this phrase. So when you open up the request box and say what you have to say, you can just put ... and I'll know to finish the statement with, but that would be crazy, right? But that would be crazy, right? So I think sometimes our past failures and mistakes can shrink our sense of what's possible for us. Or, well, maybe it shrinks what we think is possible, but definitely it shrinks what our thoughts about what's possible for us. So, there's a gap between what's possible in the world and what we feel like it's possible in our experience and who we are and our level that we've reached. But, possibility, it can be a place that you can kind of set your gaze, something to look forward to. We talked about looking back at your regrets, but it's also important to use some possibility that might be a little bit out of reach for you right now, as far as you're concerned. But you know that it is possible. They kind of reveal what your deep dreams are, that sense of possibility, the things that you imagine, but then you talk yourself out of like, oh, but that would be crazy, right? What are some things like that for you? What are some things like that are possible? They are intriguing to you and they keep coming to your mind, but they just kind of sit right outside of your current sense of possibility. So that would be crazy, right? Noble says, I could work a job like construction or office work, but that would be crazy, right? So what would be crazy about that, Noble? What would be crazy about that? I've worked construction before. Working construction, the time that I did that, I was in Arizona, and we were remodeling and renovating like 100-plus-year-old houses on post. And it was Arizona, and I was like doing roofing stuff, so that wasn't the vibe at all, being on a roof in Arizona in the summer. But I enjoyed the way that I could close the book on a day. I enjoyed the sense of progress that I could notice when I spent time in a unit and advance something to the next step, and I could just see that progress visibly. There's something really satisfying about that. And I noticed that when the day was over and I went home, my mind was free, and I kind of had the mental space to do creative work. Now, maybe if it might break your body down a little bit, be a little tired, but especially if you do have a creative calling that you are pursuing, having something physical that you can do that is not as mentally taxing, it can be a great way to balance that. And also, it might give you a little bit more resources at your disposal as opposed to what you're currently doing. So I wouldn't say that's too crazy, but who knows? So George is here. Ja Crispy is here. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the likes. But that would be crazy, right? We're looking at those intriguing possibilities, those things that might lie before us as an option or consideration that maybe we aren't fully ready to lean into, but it's out there. It's out there. So J-Man says, if everybody was just upfront with what they want, then the world might be a better place. But that would be crazy, right? People got to have a little something going on. We can't expect people to just say what they want and be like, keep it a buck with you. We can't like that. That'd be crazy. Ja Crispy, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. Noble says, I'm not built for either of those two jobs. Well, we're not built for anything. We make ourselves. You don't come out of the box built for anything. You make yourself. You have some potentials, you have some tendencies, you have some ideas, but we can create of ourselves whatever we choose. We shape our potential and our destiny through our choices. Now, you might not like it. You might not want to do it forever. I didn't do it forever, but it was very useful for the time that I did it. So someone anonymously shares, marry my boyfriend of 2 years that is 12 years younger than me. But that would be crazy, right? That'd be crazy. I don't know. Crazier things. I guess the only thing that would make that crazy, anonymous person, is if, let's say, you're only 25. If you're 5, then that would be crazy. So how crazy it is depends on how old you are. You dig? It's crazy if you are, not that old and they're 12 years younger than you, then it's not crazy. It's just illegal. It's illegal. But if y'all been together and he with it and y'all cool, do your thing. So Noble doesn't believe that he doesn't believe that he designs and builds himself. He doesn't believe, he feels like he was dropped onto the planet a specific way. I could dig it. Miss, thank you so much for those spoons. I like those new spoons. They're cute. Miss says, humans could love and care for one another and share resources, but that would be crazy, right? That would be crazy. I think the way that we have had things go for us sometimes makes us feel like we're crazy. Like we're the crazy ones for imagining a different way that it could be. And for thinking that maybe this different way that it could be might be better than the way that it is now. So Mo is here. Mo, I hope that you are doing well. So Alexis Autumn Elf says, we could take a vested interest in the answer to the question, how are you? As opposed to using it as a greeting and continuing to walk on by. But that would be crazy, right? We could really care when we say, how are you? Yeah, we could do that, couldn't we? I'm wondering, which would you prefer? If people just didn't acknowledge you at all and just walk by? Or if they did the sort of the how are you greeting, that convention, Which is better for them just not say nothing? Yeah, silence is cool sometimes. Don't say nothing. Walk on by. If you see me at the street and I start to cry. So I think one of the things that's when strangers do it, I kind of disregard it. I don't come to any specific conclusions. I don't find it rude. I just take it as the greeting. But I think the place that we have a possibility or an opportunity to shift that is in the way that we interact with people who we know. And we can change that convention among our friends and acquaintances and the people who we deal with on a regular basis. And we can kind of create culture in the people who we have influence over to be more intentional with those words. All right. So we can keep thinking about this set of possibilities. Those things that could be a better way of being. And if you have some more of those, you continue to drop them in the chat. If you've already shared one in the request box, it would be really helpful if you put a little green check mark beside your response so that I don't miss it. Because I want to take a second now to share a word from our sponsors, right? Morning Journal, of course, is live every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. We do it with the VIPs on Spoon starting at 6, and then we join the rest of you at around 6:25, 6:30. So if you are interested in getting the full 2-hour experience, that extra bonus content in the beginning, sometimes a little extra bonus content at the end, I invite you to use the link in your description to find your way to the VIP section. Got a lot of cool stuff over there, you dig? I also invite you to of the show, which is the Morning Journal newsletter. It's a free newsletter where you'll get access to some of the prompts that we have in our discussions here, as well as some of the insights and commentary. Something that just comes in as a little bit of a reminder right in your inbox, a tool that you can use at your leisure and at your discretion to do a little personal reflection and explore some ideas. I know Miss was like, why are you challenging people this early in the morning? Yeah, well, maybe if the morning ain't the time for you, maybe you can open that email, and when the time is right for you, when you're in the head that you want to think about some of these things, it's there for you to use. So you can subscribe to the Morning Journal Substack channel, Jared V. Forte at substack.com. The link's in the description. You can get with that. I'd love to see you there. Finally, I want to give a quick update on the Lucky Charms promo. That's specifically for the folks here on Spoon. You've been very generous this week. We are made it to about halfway to our goal in our first 2 streams. We got a week to get there, so we're going to be good. We put the goal for each stream in the notice, and I appreciate everyone's participation and support towards that. It's just going to kind of help us get a little bit more exposure and cover some of the overhead of creating and bringing this to you every day. So thank you for all the ways that you support what we do, for telling your friends and bringing your friends, and, you know, helping to make this a special moment for me every morning when I hit go live and I see you spill into the room with all of your energy and attention and the ways that you care for each other. I truly appreciate you. Jerry Chu is here. Jay Flock is here. Thank you so much for joining us. Valen, thank you for being here. We're ready to go to the next prompt. I think we can drop a heart in the chat to make sure, and we'll move deeper into our conversation on this beautiful Friday morning. Jerry says, exploring Spoon is rough, guys. It's rough out there. Them streets, you know, it's like you can run into some interesting interesting conversations, let's say. There's a little something for everybody out there. So we're going to update our donation total for today so we can see where we're standing and go for the next prompt. All right. So this prompt, which of your dreams are you ready to take seriously? I told you that we were going to come back to the conversation about dreams, and here we are. Which of your dreams are you ready to take seriously? And they take time. It's not like this moment that something starts to percolate in your mind as a possibility for you. That might not be the time to jump in and start doing it. It kind of, we might mull things over. We might imagine a lot of different scenarios and possibilities. We might see a path for growth that we need to embark on. But some things that lie on the edge of your sense of possibility in the moment. There are these deep dreams that keep peeking into your waking life. You find yourself thinking about it. We retreat to these dreams like daydreams over and over again as a possibility of new ways to live and new ways to be that could be exciting, joyful, or full in a way that perhaps you haven't given yourself the pleasure of experiencing up to this point. A dream is like an urge to change the contents of your consciousness and include in that contents what might be missing for you right now. All right. Which of your dreams? J-Man says, I dream about happiness inside and out, and I'm ready to take that seriously. I'm going to get serious about being happy on the inside. I'm wondering what happy on the outside looks like. I guess just the smile that you wear. But you want that smile to reflect something that's true inside of you at the moment. Maybe you dancing. Maybe you sad twerking. There's a disconnect between what you're doing with your body and what you're feeling on the outside. Maybe you want to line those things up. So Miss says, I try to engage all my dreams daily, but I'd like to have a girlfriend again. That'd be cool. All right, Cherry Chew. Thanks for popping through. Yeah. I like a friend, like a friend or girlfriend. Tim wants a little bit more clarification. Like, what you talking about? What are we talking about here? All right. So something we're willing to take seriously. Noble Ancient says the dream that I am taking seriously is small game design business, Armistice Games. With each game I create into a prototype, I get one step closer to reaching my ultimate goal, full time. Yeah. And you're taking it seriously. I think this thing, the evidence that you're taking it seriously shows up in the fact that you are taking those steps every day. right? Your expectations are reflected in your decisions and what you do every day. So, yeah. Next up, we have Alexis Autumn Elf. With this, I would like to actually work at SeaWorld. I've wanted to work there since I was 6 years old. They're waiting for my background check to start me, but it's taking forever. And I don't know what to do here. It's taking forever. Come on, run that joint. I'm good. Yeah, I know you've been in this process for a while. Hopefully everything will come through for you and you can get started, because that's really an exciting thing. Imagine, being able to work at your dream place. It's worth it. Hopefully your little side hustles won't derail. Your little side hustle won't derail. I know you're talking about taking surveys as your side hustle. Hopefully that won't, what you really be doing won't be from out of that situation. All right. Marie says, buying property in about a year, probably. I'm done just talking about it. I'm about to start building a portfolio. I see you, Marie. Alexis, thank you so much for being here and for keep liking. And Marie, thank you for keeping liking. All right. Jovi says, the dream that I'm ready to start taking seriously is using my voice and experiences to reach the masses via social media and influence others to pursue their dreams. Never know what little influences we have on people. Those little things that we can say and do and share that can make a difference in folks' lives. Absolutely. The right word at the right time to the right person can change the world. And it's not always about what we can do. It's about the people we touch can do. So you never know what that ripple looks like. So take seriously the capacity that you have to encourage people, turn on lights for people, open up possibilities for people. I'm glad that you're doing that, Jody. And I'm glad that you're getting serious. You're taking it seriously. We can never have too many positive voices, right? Because there's plenty of other stuff. The positive voices are what's needed. So thank you for that. Dreams that you are ready to start taking seriously. I know a couple weeks ago we had the conversation about, if we have a goal and there's no project attached, then it's just a dream. And we need dreams, of course, but if you are ready to take it seriously, that means that you got a project attached to it. Like Noble was saying, I got this thing that I'm doing. I'm making these steps in this direction. So Tim says, none. I'm just going to keep dreaming until the right one comes up. There you go. You're still in that phase of exploration. As long as you keep the same possibility open, then, and that you're not discounting the dream because of fear, but because of acknowledging, no, that ain't it. That's not it. That's not it. That one. Let's go for that one. All right, Valen, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. Okay, something interesting might happen here, but don't be afraid. We are going to Yeah, just got a little bit of bop to it. We just got to plug something up. It might cause a slight something with our connection, so just stand by for me. Thank you so much for the like. All right, there we go. If we're ready to go to the next prompt, you can go ahead and drop a heart in the chat for me. All right, let's get it. So this prompt, right? What steps are you tempted to skip? I think a lot of times, once we do make that commitment to be like, hey, yo, I'm gonna go for this thing, we can get caught up in the excitement of it, right? And get to rush in. Maybe we have a tendency to be a little bit caught up in the moment and maybe not as deliberate and careful and thoughtful as we should be. Maybe we can recognize our tendency. So think about it. Are there steps are you tempted some steps? Is there a tendency that you have to rush? How's your pace? So GJ Squad, Heart of Darkness, thank you so much for joining us. So I think an important distinction to think about is the difference between being efficient and being effective, right? Efficiency is doing things right, like there's a process that you're following and you're doing it right. Effectiveness is doing the right thing. So both of those things are important. It's important, but it's important to do it in the right order. You want to clarify what it is that what you want to have happen as a result of your action, what it is that you're aiming at. And then as you take steps towards it, you get feedback on like the efficiency and the way that you're moving. It's like, you could be real smooth going in the wrong direction. So I think a lot of times when we aren't real clear, there's some things that we rush through, some things that we don't check in about, some things that we don't think are important. Are you tempted to skip some steps? Is there a temptation to rush? So Valance says, telling other people, like my family, how I feel. So yeah, I don't want to, maybe you don't feel like it's necessary to even get into it. You can just move on and go on with your life without expressing how you feel to folks. That's a difficult step, and maybe you want to avoid that one. It might be necessary on some level, or maybe it's not. But at any rate, it's like, I don't want to do that part. So Marie says, networking. A good piece of advice I've received is not always what you know, but who you know, but my introvert butt would rather not. Yeah, you want to skip the part where you making the connections with people, that's uncomfortable. But if you look at your desire to, I don't know, invest in real estate and get some properties, you're gonna need to know some folks. And if you skip that part, if you skip that step, it might make things difficult for you. There's always going to be something in the path, no matter how much we want the thing that we're dreaming about having. There's always going to be some part of the process that's going to take us outside of our comfort zone a little bit. I mean, if it's anything that's significant, right? If it's a significant goal that you're pursuing, a way of being that you're growing into, there's going to be some parts of that you're going to be like, nah, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go on. But a lot of times our failure to achieve what it is that we want to achieve comes in those steps that we saw, but we dismissed and said, that ain't important. But it is important though. So as you think about the path that's before you, look at those things that you don't want to do. You know it matters, but you're like, maybe we don't gotta face that. Noble says, unfortunately, if I skip any steps in the process, it screws up the prototype and I have to fix it. So I have no temptation to skip steps. It's one of my demons that I fight. So you don't want to skip no steps. You recognize that the process is what it is, and you're not trying to skip around. Anonymous, someone says, you'd rather rewind time. You're not thinking about skipping steps. You want to go back. You're not even thinking about going forward. You're not thinking about skipping steps. You want to go back. Maybe there's some steps you've already skipped. So J-Man says, on the journey of J-Man, I'm not skipping anything. On the journey of my life, relationships, I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to skip that part. I'm going to focus on Buff J-Man. Buff J-Man 100. So I think that a lot of times that feeling of resistance, that tendency that we feel to draw back, it might actually be a signal to do the opposite. To choose the more challenging path at times will give you results that you didn't anticipate. But it can be terrifying. I'm not going to pretend like it's easy to do. It's much easier not to do what's necessary, to take the steps that will make your progress more solid and more durable, the steps that are required to keep you from falling back over and over again. But I think that a lot of times that's a part of the process, and you have to decide whether or not you are willing to embrace that part. So, Miss says, I just tend to rush sometimes. Then I end up wishing that I would have taken my time. I don't always rush, but when I do, I forget so much stuff. I forget so much stuff when I rush. And I don't like the results of that, I would guess, right? You don't necessarily like the results that you get when you're rushing. Goddess of Words is here. Good morning, Goddess of Words. We're talking about the steps that we are tempted to, the part of the process that we may try to negotiate our way out of. By doing so, though, what is the result of doing that? What would happen if we did that? So Jovi says, if skipping steps reevaluation is needed. If I'm out here skipping steps, and I might need to fall back and take a look at what's going on here. All right. Goddess of Words says, cut to the chase, baby. I'm trying to skip all the steps. Steps? What are you talking about? Steps? We ain't skipping steps. We just gonna arrive fully formed and ready to go at our destination. What's a step? What's a step? Goddess of Words is dropping a bonjour in the chat. Thank you for being here. All right. So let's get ready to do a little bit of a recap of our session thus far. All right. So where have we been? We had a conversation today thinking about what is something that you didn't appreciate until it's gone. What is something that you didn't appreciate until it was gone? A lot of times our regrets provide a roadmap to our true values. So the things that, in looking back, we realize that we miss, that can give us a clue as to the way that we want to take the next step. Then we went into an exploration of the opportunities that we have for personal growth. We get better, we can choose a path of growth and expand what's possible for us if we recognize the challenges and the mistakes and the lessons that we've learned as opportunities and invest that experience in the future that we're creating for ourselves. Our next question, our next prompt was exploring those things that kind of lie at the edge of possible things that would be great that we don't see as real for us or real in the world right now. Those things that would be crazy if it were true. It's like, is it too much to ask? Is another way to think about that prompt. Would it be too much to ask if people did this? If people were kind and intentional with the language that they use and the words that they used, if they really meant it when they said, how are you? Would it be too much to ask? Right? Would it be too much to ask if people actually supported and like authentically shared? So then we kind of took a turn towards the dreams, looking at possibilities not as a thing that's just out in the world, but the specific possibilities that keep peeking into your mind, those dreams that keep coming back, that are demanding your attention at this point. Say, hey, let's do something about this. So we talked about the dreams that we're ready to start attacking a series of steps towards to get there. And then finally, we considered what steps might we like to skip and what those skipped steps might mean for the probability or the likelihood that we will actually get where we are intending to go. So that's the arc of the conversation. So Valen, I think, may be answering something about things to let go or to exclude. My old friends, since they annoy me sometimes, I don't want to deal with them anymore, right? People, we have to be careful about the people who we spend our time with. That has been the arc of the conversation for today. We still have a nice little chunk of time over with the VIPs over on Spoon. So if you want to give us, get the bonus content, go ahead and check the link in your description in the show notes. And you can find an extra 30 minutes or so or more every day of the morning journal. A quick reminder as well, we do this Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern time. So if this is your first time here, thank you, and I hope to see you again next week. Also, please remember, if you have not done so, please subscribe to the Morning Journal newsletter. And if you are listening and watching to the playbacks, go ahead and subscribe where you see us and hear us, so that you don't miss the next episode. Once again, thank you all for being here. VIP stand by for some backstage time, some bonus time, and everyone else, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. See you soon.